Anthony. Today we have a very special guest joining us to provide some more information on how we can predict tropical storms and hurricanes like the one developing in the Atlantic. May we introduce Pablo Ramirez from the National Hurricane Center. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Ramirez.
It's my pleasure, Veronica.
So, Pablo, before you go into any detail about hurricanes, how accurate are our predictions?
Well, Veronica, you have to understand that predicting weather has come a long way in the last century. However, we have very sophisticated tools available to us now, like satellites and Doppler radar. These errors still have a substantial effect on damage done to a certain area. A difference of 100 miles could determine whether or not people are forced to evacuate. A meteorologist can only make a guess, and a guess can always be wrong.
So, what has changed in how we predict hurricanes today from how we used to?
Well, now we have better computer models, a better understanding of how the atmosphere works, and in addition to that, more data from what's happening from these satellites. These satellites had an enormous impact on our understanding, and ability to predict where the hurricanes will go. These remarkable eyes in the sky, so to speak, generate stunning images and huge amounts of data, allowing forecasters to watch every move a hurricane makes. Also, knowing the distribution of wind and pressure over ocean and land allows us to know what's going on in, say, Bermuda, as well as in North Dakota. This has reduced forecast errors from a third to a quarter.
Interesting. How do you exactly actually predict hurricanes?
Well, once a hurricane is formed, it can be tracked. We can usually predict the hurricane's path for about 3 to 5 days in advance. The hurricane's possible trajectory is represented as a cone, which shrinks over time as the error in prediction decreases. We use a couple different models to predict the path that it will take. The CYPER is one of them. To measure a hurricane, we use the Saffir-Simpson scale, which tells you if it's a Category 1 hurricane or a Category 5 hurricane. We also look at the wind speeds based on that scale. It allows us to measure the hurricane and channel that information to everyday people, like you viewers at home.
Thank you, Pablo. We appreciate you being here today with us today and sharing your knowledge on predicting hurricanes. In other news,